Welcome to Laptop Radio. Today's topic is outsourcing, branding, marketing, and crypto. And we have Jeff Hunter with us. Hello, Jeff.
It is a pleasure to be here, Michelle.
Jeff, where are you now?
I'm near Sacramento in the Central Valley, and it's hot.
It's hot. It's raining here.
Oh, man. Yeah, it started to look a little overcast, but no luck yet.
Jeff, you are a VA staffer at brandedmedia.io crypto gaming team. You wear different hats. Tell us your story.
Well, I've always loved computers and IT in general. One of the things that's always been interesting to me is just I like to be on the cutting edge of technology. And that's something that actually, since my grandfather died in the 2016, I no longer even go by my name Jeff Hunter anymore. I've integrated the J in my name, which is my grandfather's name, Jesse. My grandfather was a huge inspiration to me. His motto in life was one word, and actually it was an abbreviation of one word: auto. He liked everything to be automatic. He was one of those guys that any way he could figure something out. He used to work at IBM. He used to figure out ways to, for example, one of the inventions that he actually came up with was a laser that would point at drill bits that were making those little semiconductor boards back in the day. They were the infancy of what we call motherboards and stuff today. But he had a little laser that would point towards the drill bit. So when it broke, an alarm would go off and it would stop production, because before, if the drill bit broke, it would just keep going down production and stuff would keep going and you'd have all these motherboards that were messed up.
Yeah.
He's always been like that kind of guy. And I love that about him. It was really something that I just kind of looked up to. And he also taught me that only dummies work hard, which took me a while to figure out. But now I get it, because smart people find easier ways to do it.
Yeah.
So that kind of brought me into where I'm at today. I used to be an IT coordinator here in the state for a district, and then I became an IT project manager for Philips Electronics. Left to do my own thing, which started out to be a side hustle in 2014. And by 2016, I left my corporate cushy six-figure job to pursue creating VA Staffer, which is a virtual assistant staffing agency, and then another vertical from that, which is the branding agency. And then all in all, the ultimate passion goal of mine is gaming. When crypto gaming came out, it kind of changed things for me, and I said, oh, there's a market now. And that's where we are today.
When did you first learn about crypto, and what was your reaction?
Well, I had a client back in 2014, or maybe it was the end of 2013. No, it's probably 2014. And his name was David. I'm not going to give his full name because I'm sure he's sitting on an island somewhere, very pretty, very rich. He wanted to pay for my services in Bitcoin.
Oh, that's awesome.
And that was back in, I want to say, early 2014. And I don't remember what Bitcoin was in early 2014. Probably, obviously not much.
Yeah, I think it's like under 100 or something.
It was, yeah. I mean, let's say 100-ish. I remember that he was giving me about $1,000 worth of Bitcoin back then. And I did not trust it at all. I had no idea what Bitcoin was. I didn't even know it was crypto. I just saw Bitcoin, and I kind of saw it in the news, and he was like, listen, if you're not comfortable with it, I will help you create a Coinbase account, and I'll show you how to accept the payment, and I'll show you how to swap it and get your money out in USD. And I was like, okay, sure, no problem. Yeah, that sounds fair. I accepted payment, and I immediately swapped it, except for I think $30 that was left in the account, which I think is worth, I mean, even after the crash, still thousands of dollars.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's amazing. That's awesome. You focus a lot on marketing and staffing, and then virtual assistants, and also personal branding. Why do you think personal branding is important for entrepreneurs?
That's interesting that you say that, because I found out the importance of branding after I became an entrepreneur.
Me too. That's why I
right?
asked. Yes. I mean, I was working so hard in my office every day until really, really late. And then people are going out. And then all of a sudden you realize that, oh, you have to do your work as CEO or as operator of a company. And then you also have to go and do your personal branding. You don't really realize until later.
I think my aha moment was when I took the leap from the corporate world to entrepreneurial world. As a project manager, I never had to sell anything. I never had to market anything because the salespeople did that. I just made it happen. Like that's what project managers do. We just make stuff happen. And when I started my own business, and it was all like kind of referral based, and still a lot of my business is referral based, but I didn't have the relationships. I didn't have the expertise in the field. I'm just the new guy on the block.
Yeah.
And what I started looking at, I just started looking at all the people that were already successful in my space, and I kind of started seeing the similarities. And the common denominator was that most of them had built their own brand, and they were at events and speaking on stages and
Yeah.
going on podcasts. And I was like, okay, that's how they're marketing their business. I ended up going all in back in end of 2016 on my own personal brand and just being more strategic and intentional with the content I was putting out, the networks I was on, and the people that I was really trying to build relationships with.
Yeah. That's awesome. Yeah, I think someone invited me to start speaking in 2018 and 19, most on cryptocurrency, but I was a little bit deliberately being anonymous, I guess, for a little while. But then I learned that, oh, you actually do want to go out there. When you're marketing, what do you think have changed over the years? When companies are building something, why would they hire you or need your services?
I think a lot of it, especially on the crypto side of things, it's about kind of just making your message simpler
Mhm.
and really appealing to the right audience. For example, for the virtual assistant business, we service two main demographics. One is the entrepreneur,
Mhm.
sometimes the solopreneur. Maybe they make $100,000 to $500,000 a year. Their business is starting to grow and scale, but maybe it's still kind of expensive to bring in an American-based employee per se. And they're looking at maybe I should hire a virtual assistant overseas. But then the problem with that is that when you try to hire a VA, they're usually entrepreneurs
Mhm.
and they're juggling multiple clients and they're not really dedicated and committed to you. You have to really understand, I think the key of marketing and why you would hire a marketer or a brander would be to help understand your audience better, to start understanding the pain points better, also to start crafting and creating the message and offer based on how to be the transformational solution. It's not one thing to just say, hey, I can improve your business. Nobody wants that. They want to be transformed. How
Yeah.
can I come in and transform somebody's business? And that was something that I didn't really understand until way later. I wish I
Yeah.
would have just known that, or at least knew somebody that knew that, because I think I spent from 2016 to 2018 was like really tough for my business, is trying to grow and scale and get in front of the right audience. And I just didn't have the right message.
How do you learn that? I feel like technology could be complicated. All the terms normal people don't understand, especially if you're doing B2C. B2B, some of the other business people might understand what you're saying. How do you simplify your messaging and communicate to the mass?
Yeah.
That's basically what would transform a business, because you were basically providing traction, which is really important, because a lot of the
Yeah.
founders I found, they don't think marketing is important, but it is, and it should be. And then
Yeah.
until they learn the hard way that, hey, they make this beautiful product that's awesome, and they don't have anyone to use it.
Yeah. Well, I think there's two parts of it. I am a firm believer that if you have a really good product, it
Yeah.
does kind of sell itself,
Yeah.
right? But at the same time, people have to know about it. The brand positioning and the product and the marketing all kind of have to play together. See, personally, I believe the branding is a part of marketing. How you position something is the brand.
Yeah.
Which is part of the marketing, because how you position something is also going to determine who you market it to. But I know, and back to what you said, I think at least what VA staffer really provides is leverage, because I think that most people are over or under leveraged, or they leverage their own time too much. They're their own assistant. They have all these different things that they need to do every day. And back to the previous message that you said, it's really the key of the marketing points is kind of going back to the pain points and saying, for me, I know that entrepreneurs are going to do the same three things, and it's always the same three things. One is they always say that no one's going to care about their business as much as them. That's just the truth. That's how they believe it. And I think that one of the best ways to get a marketing message that's really disruptive, that gets people to think, okay, transformative instead of improvement, is
Yeah.
to prove something that they hold as a core belief to be wrong. That's one of the strongest things you can do in marketing. For example, what if I told you that my team, definitely have team members that care about my business more than I do.
That's awesome. That is awesome.
Right?
Yeah.
And secondly, you know this one, Michelle, they never have time. They don't have time to make time. It's the worst excuse of all time. Wow, that kind of rhymed.
You don't have time to make time, and it's the worst excuse of all time.
Right? Yeah. And the last thing is that, and I'm sure you've maybe experienced this too, is, well, it would take me too much time to show someone how to do it, so I'll just do it myself.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, that
And it's
happens
kind
a
of
lot.
like, and by the way that I counter that argument with people, the way I win that battle in their head, is I literally show them how I do it, which is I say, I get on a Zoom call, just like this, the way you and I are, and I have my assistant come on the call and I share my screen. And for example, if I want to teach her name's Jacqueline, my assistant, if I want to teach her how to screen emails or set something up, I'll just share my screen and I'll go through my emails and I'll say, okay, this is probably spam. Okay, this one's important. Go ahead and mark it as unread and then flag it so that I get it. My assistant, for example, she starts her day 1 hour before I even wake up. And
Yeah.
the reason why is because she goes through all my emails and sorts everything, so I don't get all that notification anxiety when I wake up.
She organized this meeting, I believe. So you
She
have an
did.
awesome virtual assistant.
Yeah, she's amazing. Yeah, and her memory is way better than mine too.
Yeah.
Because as an entrepreneur, we wear lots of hats. We're all over the place, and things can get slipped. And one of the things she does every day is she's in charge. She owns the to-do list. Here's what I'm supposed to do. And if I don't get something done, it gets added to the to-do list for tomorrow. And we
Yeah.
review this twice a day, in the morning and right before she logs off. Here's the to-do list for today. Okay, cool. What'd you get done today? Okay, cool. And then we add new things to the list and then we rehash what was accomplished of the day. And then there's sometimes where the list will get to like 20 items and she'll be like, boss. And I'm like, I know, I'll get to it. And then I'll usually prioritize the things that I need to get off the plate. But I am a bit of a procrastinator, so it's really good for her to slap me virtually and keep me in shape.
That's awesome, though. I want a virtual assistant now.
Well, that's my job. All I do, and the crazy part is, like I said, if you have a good product that sells itself, all I have to do is just tell people what my own assistant does, and like, oh my gosh, yeah, I need that for myself. And that's literally all I've done to grow the business.
Yeah, no, I've been speaking with her on Telegram and she organizes meetings. It's been pretty awesome for marketing and branding and community building, because it's very similar, but yet have their own differences or nuanced differences.
Yeah.
How do you think that the crypto ecosystem could change that so that is better? Because I see that in a lot of its infancy right now, and it hasn't really matured yet. How could branding, marketing, and community be different?
I feel like crypto's kind of turned marketing upside down. And a lot of it's just driven by FOMO, right? The fear of missing out,
Yeah.
which is the oldest marketing ploy in the book. And it's a lot of it's driven by, I hate to say it, but there's a lot of vanity metrics still in crypto. How many users do you have? How many followers does this thing have on Twitter and Facebook? And how big the Discord channel is? Like, I feel like there's definitely some maturity that has to happen in the crypto game. I do believe one thing's for sure, and Michelle, this is actually something that you and I spoke a little bit about back in Austin, Texas. But I believe right now the investors are looking a lot more carefully
Yeah.
at these projects. And I think it's a good thing, by the way, because it used to be you're launching a game, Animoca Brands comes in and drops however much money or whatever, and
Yeah.
they funded everything. And it was like when the market was going up, most projects were 5-10xing. Even if you just had one or two successes, it would pay for all the other failures. I think that right now it's kind of brought us back to a place where capital is being a lot more due diligence around the brand and who's involved and the capabilities of the team, which I actually think is good for everyone, because I feel like there was just a wild west moment where you could go on Fiverr and order somebody to make a video animation of a proposed game that you haven't even started building yet, and then just say, here's the trailer video for this new game, and raise a couple $1 million.
Yeah.
And I think that those things, and obviously I'm in the gaming side of things, so I kind of kept that example there, but that goes for any type of project, DeFi, crypto, network, platform, whatever, marketplace. It was like everybody was coming out with something and just people were throwing money at it because crypto was going to the moon.
It did. It goes up and down, but we're not providing investing advice.
Yeah. I'm definitely not a financial advisor.
Neither.
Nope. What I'm telling you is just the stupid things I've done. That's all you're hearing today.
Yeah, me too. Tell us about the gaming side of everything. For gaming, I know that you're really involved. And of course, there's a whole ecosystem of gaming. There's breeding, there's playing the game, there's also joining different teams.
Mm-hmm.
What excites you about crypto gaming?
I think the most exciting part is just ownership.
Yeah.
I don't even should say the word feel. I know
No.
how much time I've spent playing video games over the years. From Super Mario Brothers to
I love Super Mario Brothers.
right?
Yes.
Let's stay there for a second then. All right, Super Mario Brothers.
Yeah.
Think about this. What was the one thing that you were collecting in Mario Brothers? It was coins.
Coins, and jumping up and down mushrooms to collect coins. Yep.
Smashing the mushrooms, grabbing the little flower so you could shoot the bad guys, jumping up and down, and then you would smash the brick and find the hidden coin.
Yeah, the hidden coins.
Right?
Yes.
You'd go down the tube and you'd be like, boop, 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 boop. And you jump around and collect all the coins.
Yeah, those the coins.
Yeah,
then it has the sound. Yep.
Right?
Yeah.
So at the very end, you'd jump up, you'd hit the flag, and like it was just fun. And
fun, yeah, I love
the crazy part is though, Michelle, is when you hit the power button on that, the little red button, when the red button turned off, everything you did
is dead. It's gone.
It's gone.
Yeah.
Yeah. So now we come into a place where all those coins are things that we can own, the power-ups, everything. And there's an interesting shift. It's going to require a lot of deep thought. It's still in infancy.
Yeah.
But I think a lot of mainstream game developers haven't done this yet because there is a control problem. And the control meaning that the money that developers are putting into the game, instead of you buying their battle pass or their weapons or whatever, other people could actually profit from it. But I do think that that's very short-sighted. I will tell you this. If I had a back look at the numbers, if I was going to Call of Duty, for example, and I looked at how much money they're making on the battle pass and the different upgraded guns and whatever, and then we just did a complete volume play and said, okay, well, how much money would they make instead of charging money for the battle pass and for these coins? What if they kept the same model, but it was crypto instead? It was a token, like an EA token or whatever. And here's the cool part. The owners of these guns and things are selling it. And then when they sell it, let's say the marketplace just takes a 3.5% fee, right?
Yeah.
Now, every day, every single item that's being sold is 3.5%. And they don't have to do the work. The players do. I think that that's the real use case model. And it's also why I'm very bullish on trading card games, collectible card games.
Yeah,
because,
I love collectibles.
Yeah, I mean, it's already a proven model, right? We got Pokemon, Magic the Gathering, like all these are already proven. And NFTs, all it is just proof of ownership of that card. It's perfect.
Yeah, I love those. Went to Anime Con just in Atlanta the other day, and I was looking at Magic cards and Pokemon. There's like dragons, dices, and things like that. Someone was asking me about marketing there, and I was just like, I wish that it stays the same, because I didn't want it to be a little bit too commercialized or be too influenced by the hardcore crypto marketing people, because they're gonna make everything 20,000, 100,000 just for a booth, and there's normal people. Some homemade card games that were pretty awesome there, and I was just like, yes, I want to see you next year or the year after this.
Yeah, well, I also think that there's some learning experiences here. For example, I don't know if you've been following my talks on Facebook, but one of the games that I invested in and the crypto gaming team, which is basically a bunch of crazy dudes that, well, and girls, guys and girls that we all are kind of like into the gaming space, and we
Yeah.
all are following the crypto games that are coming out, blockchain games, whatever you guys want to call it. I like crypto games, but there's a lot of behind the scenes work that goes into due diligence for these things that most people just don't have the time, right?
Yeah.
So I started building my own team to do that due diligence and figure things out and build relationships with these developers. And now I'm working and advising with a dozen different games.
Yeah.
I actually have a call later with one of the CMOs for Open Blocks, which is a really cool card collectible game. But they also have on the roadmap 4 different games they're developing.
Oh,
And the
that's
people
awesome.
that yeah, the people that originally invested and bought their Genesis NFT collection, every time a new game comes out, you get airdropped NFTs from the new game.
Oh, awesome.
And I got airdropped 9 of these sneakers for this new game called, you probably you didn't mention anything because you can't tell because I'm sitting down, but I've lost 11 pounds since I last saw you. And I did that because of this game called Run Blocks. It's a move to earn game. Talk about the future. A move to earn game.
It's so funny because I've never walked around until I downloaded Steppen.
Oh
And
yeah.
I told you it was so crazy. I was walking around my hotel trying to get that 25 coins or something. And then it just makes me remember to actually turn on the app and walk around.
Yeah.
That's what you're doing. Yeah. It's just
Yeah, for
nice.
those of you that are just listening in, I'm actually holding my phone up to the screen right now, and there's a couple pairs of sneakers here. One of them is rare, and by the way, when the shoes first came out, the rare shoes were going for a crazy amount of money, like 400 AVAX.
Wow.
400 AVAX. And by the way, I got airdropped 3 of the rares.
You
I got
lucky.
airdropped 3 of them, and I'm using them. Well, not lucky. It's because I owned and I invested in the original. So if you owned a rare, like a legendary Open Blocks, you would also get airdropped a rare one in the other. They kept the value the same on the airdrops.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So I was like, wow. And talk about really rewarding your original investors, right?
Yeah.
But the crazy part is I have ran over 95 kilometers in the past 5 weeks.
Wow.
What is that? Hold on, let me Google that.
It sounds like a lot.
95 kilometers to miles.
I'm like, now I wanted to like look at how much I walked.
That is 59 miles that I've walked.
Oh, that's a lot.
And I've never, by the way, I've never ran like recreationally a day in my life. The last time I ever ran, like I was forced to, is probably PE in high school.
Me too.
And the Rux token right now is taking a little bit of a beating. It's down to like 49 cents or something like that. But when it first came out, it was $2 and it dropped to $1. It stayed stable at $1 for quite some time. But the point is, like, my son, who on his birthday, July 26th, I bought him a pair of sneakers, which were a couple $100 in the game. And we've been having fun. We've been jogging and walking together. We did it yesterday, as a matter of fact. And just in the past, since his birthday, I guess it's been about a week now, he's made like $37
Awesome.
in these tokens that we swap for USDT.
Yeah.
And for me, I'm also thinking about, not only is crypto gaming awesome and fun, but also how can we use crypto gaming to incentivize people to take better health?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, my mind is blown. I never even thought about Move to Earn. I didn't even know what Steppen was until Run Blocks came out. And people were like, oh, it's like Steppen. I'm like, I don't even know what that is.
Yeah.
I sold a pair of shoes a couple weeks ago for 250 AVAX.
That's awesome.
It's like $6,000 or 5,500 or whatever. It's mind boggling to me.
Yeah. And I'm still trying to earn Steppen by walking every day.
Even if the token goes down to 1 cent, I'm still going to do it because I realize how good it is for my health.
Yeah.
And quite frankly, it has been a game changer for me, and it's been really fun. And I love the idea of gamification of your health.
Yeah.
Health gamification. It just makes so much sense.
It's just so different from just walking, isn't it? You basically turn on the app and you have your own NFT that you buy. You get to choose a shoe. So there's some kind of ownership sense.
Yeah.
And then you can fix your shoe and repair it virtually.
Yeah, you can upgrade it.
Yeah, you can upgrade it, put gems on it.
Mm-hmm.
And then you learn about resilience and all kinds of the other superpowers that the shoe may have. Yeah. There's a walker, a trainer, and then a jogger and a runner for Steppen.
Wow.
It's pretty awesome.
I just love the idea of just blockchain solutions to real life problems.
Yeah. Yeah.
For me, who would never ever go jogging a day in his life, lost 11 pounds, and I feel stronger and healthier than I ever have right now.
Yeah, I literally was flying all day and I was like 11:30 p.m. Let me walk around my hotel just to get that stepping in.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I think it has positive influence. I'm hoping that the ecosystem would support it because I think for Steppen, they took away the marketplace on the
Mm.
app, which I didn't really like because then I couldn't really buy the shoes directly because I upgraded. I shouldn't have upgraded had I known. But I'm hoping that the ecosystem would support those kind of apps that kind of help us improve our lives a little bit better.
Yeah, and I think that that's the real problem. And this is a perfect cue back into where we were with marketing, which is this is where most of these companies are failing because right now the reason why the prices are going down and Steppen's going down and Runblock is going down is because there becomes a point where the influx of new users is less than the people that are in there that are just basically taking out.
Yeah.
And it's just like the old thing. It transcends everything. It doesn't matter if it's crypto or real life or whatever. It's always about supply and demand.
Yeah.
When less people are buying shoes, there's less demand for the shoes, the floor price goes down.
Goes down. Yeah.
Yeah. And right now, I mean, the floor price just 2 weeks ago for a pair of Run Block shoes was like 20 something AVAX. And now I'm going to the marketplace on the app right now, and I can see that the floor price on a brand new pair of shoes that's never been used to mint to create new shoes is about 4.8 AVAX.
Wow.
4.8 AVAX from 20 AVAX. That's quite a difference, right?
Yeah, the same thing happened to Steppen. I think it was at 2 Solana. It was like 12 or 13 Solana or even more. The market has changed. I think sometimes when people come into a market just because of greed, they come out of the market. But I think as there's a continued influx of people learning about it and their intentions are more sincere to learn
Yeah.
about technology to build on top of it, then there's some kind of continual growth and that becomes more healthy, I think.
Bingo. That's it. And you know what? The investors are going to come in. And this is what I always tell people. There's always those money hungry investors that don't care about the game or the developers. They're just there for one thing, to profit.
Yeah.
And it's funny because I see a lot of game developers trying to get rid of those people. And I'm like, really, what you just need to worry about is just the cycle and be very clear. And some of it too, especially is Southeast Asia
Yeah.
and Brazil and some of these countries in the Middle East where they make more money playing these crypto games than they can get in their own country.
Yeah.
To them, it is a job. It is a career, and they're going to milk it as much as they can. They're going to figure out how to take as much out as possible. And that's why it's pretty much always going to be the hobbyist paying the professional. And that's kind of how the ecosystem works before crypto, right?
And
So,
crypto.
right now that we're into crypto, it just makes it that much
Okay,
easier.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, things seems to repeat itself and it's the same, but with nuances, not exactly the same.
Yeah. And here's the one thing, like I said, I'm not a financial advisor, but just from what I've learned is the best way to get into something and not lose all your money is just get in early. That's
Yeah.
it. There's three ways that I've learned to be profitable in crypto gaming. One is you get in early, right?
Mhm.
Before the hype, because when you buy the hype, you're guaranteed going to lose money because
Yeah.
the hype's going to happen and then it's going to go down after the hype. And then number two is what I always like to do is I like to buy 5 to 9 of these things. Let's say they're
Mhm.
NFTs. I bought 9 of those Runblocks NFT, well, technically Open Blocks NFTs.
Yeah.
But when Runblocks came out, I sold 6 of them and I kept 3.
Yeah.
And I made like 300 and something AVAX, and AVAX was at 20 and then it went to 24. I'm looking good on that part of the
Yeah.
market as well. And by the way, it was a free airdrop. I'm already making money. Look how you can get in with the developers and build relationships. And here's the other cool part, Michelle. Even if you lose money, there's a brand play. I just got done getting my notes back. Remember, I was telling you I have a meeting with Sunil. He's the CMO
Yeah.
who I wrote a story about Runblocks and I'm going to be pitching it to a media organization, and they are going to be spending marketing budget to promote the article.
That's awesome.
So it's a brand play as well.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where I think that if all you're doing is you're a casual gamer coming in, playing some games and getting out, think about how much of an investment you've made in League of Legends, Call of Duty, buying these packs, whatever else. You don't expect to see your money back ever on those, but everybody expects to see all their money back when they get into crypto games. I come into things very cautiously. And the first thing, like I said, is to get in early. Okay. Second is to breed early. Even if you buy in the hype and you start breeding and stuff like that, like minting new things, you can create things, whatever. Do that as soon as possible.
Yeah, can you explain what breeding is? Because we have a lot of people
Yeah.
who don't really understand what breeding in terms of NFT and metaverses and gaming mean. So,
Oh my gosh.
yeah,
I just got a delivery handed to me. So pause that thought. I am so excited right now
what is
because
it?
my wife just came in and delivered my shirts for VA staffer that I just had my design team put together. I'm
Nice.
so excited. You're seeing this first reveal. Look at this.
Nice.
See what it says?
Mondays have been outsourced until further notice. That's awesome.
Is that good? Here's another one here. This one here.
What is it? What does it say?
And then we're going to go back to breeding. Okay.
Wait, what does this one say? Hold on.
This one is, oh, it's coming. It's
We should
coming.
have like a whole t-shirt.
Oh my gosh. It says entrepreneurs at the top
Entrepreneurs are
are
always
on a paid vacation. That's right.
Awesome.
Because we love what we do, right?
Yeah.
And if you're smart with the tax money, anyone who knows taxes knows that all you got to do is bring your camera and do some marketing videos, and pretty much every vacation is a marketing trip.
Yeah.
Right? I'm not a legal advisor either.
Tax advisor.
This is my favorite one. I saved this one for the last.
When life hands me lemons, my virtual assistant deals with that. And then poo.
Poop emoji.
Poo emoji.
I'm wearing this one today for
That's
sure.
awesome.
Because that's what Jacqueline does. She handles all that stuff. I don't want to.
Awesome.
All right. That was an amazing delivery. So breeding. This is what's really cool, guys. When people come into a game, there's only two ways. Well, originally, if you buy a game, non-crypto, the only way to purchase into a game is to buy something from the developer, right?
Yeah.
You want to buy a new gun for your Call of Duty, you buy it from the developer in the store. What minting and breeding does is it actually incentivizes the owners of these NFTs to create new NFTs. The developers are not creating new NFTs. They're giving ownership to the investors, the people that purchase these NFTs. Usually you'd have to have two NFTs, which obviously encourages people to buy their NFTs. That's what they're minting, the original NFTs. And then the supply for the rest of the people that want to come into the game, for example, the shoes in this Runblocks game, they only had 12,000 original shoes, 12,000. All the other shoes in the game were minted and created by early investors that buy the shoes.
Wow.
It incentivizes people to come into the game early and create shoes,
great shoes
while there's still demand. Brings me back to the point number one, or technically what I said on point number two, which is breeding early. You can make profit in a game by breeding early. Guess who loses money? People that breed late when the demand's down, and it's just like, oh no, I can't sell it. For example, Runblocks, you have to spend, if you want to breed two rare shoes, it's going to cost you 1,000 Rux tokens, which used to be $1,000. Now it's 50 cents, so $500. And it's going to cost you 10,000 OBX tokens, which used to be 1.2 cents, and now it's 0.8 cents. Now you're looking at, let's say, $700, $800 to mint a pair of shoes. Well, then obviously you want to make profits. You would mint it on the market, or you would mint it, and then you would try to get your $800 back by selling it for $1,000.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what happens when the demand goes down? You're like, shoot, no one wants to buy these shoes. Then you keep lowering your prices and your margins get lower.
Yeah.
And that's why it's important to breed and mint new while the demand is high. And the third way that you can actually profit using crypto games is by playing them, like what we're doing, right?
Yeah.
And by the way, I just checked my balances. I've made about $750
Nice.
just in the past 5 weeks playing run blocks. Let me get my calculator out. What is that?
It's actually really
750.
easy. All you have to do is just walk with the app, by the way.
So I made about $150 a week, Michelle.
Yeah, that's awesome. It's passive. I mean, you're walking anyway. So you just
Yeah.
basically turn on your app and just let it run. But that's it. And then you earn coins while you
And
do
guess
so.
and guess what, Michelle? I just thought of something. I'm gonna hook you up. Right after this, I'm gonna hook you up. And I might even give a couple away to your listeners.
Oh,
But I happen to have a relationship with the developer of Geno Pets.
Geno Pets.
Geno Pets is a move to earn app where it just tracks your walk. It just tracks your steps every day.
Oh, that's
So like
awesome.
today I can see I've already done 1,700 steps today. Did you know that? Oh,
That's
1,700
awesome.
steps
Where
I've
do you
done today.
go? Oh my,
And here's my little guy. I took a walk today. This is my pet. I named him Vagino. And every day I just click this button and it banks my steps. It's doing it right now. It's banking all my steps. You have until midnight every night to bank your steps. I just earned 1,688 energy,
yep,
and I can use that to level up my little pet.
that's awesome.
And the pet is going to be used in different games that you can battle each other and things like that. And by the way, I have an awesome relationship with Jay, the developer of this, and he's given me a couple of invite codes to the beta to get you guys an NFT for free.
That's awesome.
I'll hook you up with a couple codes for your listeners too.
Yeah, sure. Thank you.
Yeah. Wow, we went all over the place.
I know we did. It's coherent because it's related to marketing, branding, community, crypto gaming, which is really community, and then outsourcing, which is really saving your time by outsourcing so that you can do fun things like walking with your phone.
I don't even like outsourcing. I don't even like the word. It has a very negative brand connotation. Remember that TV show Outsourced? Remember that?
For example, if I go to a restaurant, that's outsourcing my cooking, right?
Yeah, it is.
However, I don't think of it that way. I just want to enjoy my meal.
You hire a mechanic.
Yeah, exactly. You do
Right?
hire a mechanic. You're basically hiring people for services. That's all. But I don't know why people call it outsourcing. Because when you really think about it, a business owner hire people to do things. They're in a way outsourcing.
It's more like delegating. That's what I like.
Or delegating.
I like delegating.
Exactly.
Yeah. I have a book coming out called Virtual Teams That Work: How to Manage a Remote Team in the Work from Home Economy. That's the whole title of my next book coming out.
Which is going to be the future, or is the future right now.
It already is. Yeah. After the pandemic happened, I got picked up as a contributor for entrepreneur.com. And my most viral article I've ever written was called "The Stigma of Work from Home is No More."
Yeah, I remember when I was like walking from home, it was almost a privilege. Oh my God, I get to work from home. But now you just do.
Yeah, exactly. Also, for me, obviously, being in the business of building remote teams, it's been great for me because I had like 40 team members back in 2019, and now I have 150 plus.
Wow.
We've seen like 400% growth in the business. I have one client alone that's over $1 million a year retainer, and we built out a team of almost 50 people for them.
Wow.
That's so funny. We're coming back to the beginning. Remember, I told you I served two people. One was the entrepreneurs, the solopreneurs, and the other is corporations that are building out lean teams that support their business leaders, usually sales teams. We have prospectors and stuff that'll go out and do data scraping and lead gen and stuff like that. But those are the two people that we really serve, and having different messages for both of them. And no matter what type of business you're in, you have to know your audience. You really need to understand them, and you have to be relatable to them. And it's so funny because a lot of people think, well, if I only had a better sales pitch, or if I was only able to explain my product better to people, it's like, it's not that. It's, do you really understand them to where they can see themselves through your message? They should be able to see themselves and say, oh my gosh, yeah, I need that. Oh my gosh, like, oh, I have the same problem. You just hit the pain points and express the problems that you're dealing with, and they see themselves in your shoes and say, yes, I struggle with that too.
Yeah, that's like more effective than fancy words and all these people playing with titles and click-through rates and all kinds of stuff.
Oh man,
but it's just really simple.
I just got done writing a post about this on Facebook, and I'm sure it made some people, I got a lot of response from it. I wrote a post and it was titled, I'm not your coach. It's because I do from time to time. And it was weird because it was like last week while I was on vacation, I had like 3 or 4 people message me randomly. And I mean, they're people that know me and they've been in my network a while, but they see the stuff I'm doing and they say, "Hey, Jeff, do you do coaching?" And my answer is always, I don't. And it's not because I can't, it's because I won't.
Yeah.
I've tried it. One of the problems I found is that I cannot be more motivated, more committed, more action orientated than someone that I'm coaching.
Yeah.
And every time I've tried to coach someone, I either spend a ton of time deep diving into their bottlenecks and then I come up with some sort of solution and I give them instructions.
They don't implement it, right?
Bingo. They end up saying it's too hard, or they just find out they don't want to.
Yeah.
And then ironically, they end up paying me to do it anyway.
Yeah.
As a project manager in a past life, I'd rather you just pay me to do it.
Yeah.
I'll give you all the information for free. You don't have to hire me to be your coach. I'll tell you exactly what to do. I'll tell you what you should have your VA do. I'll tell you what the schedule is going to look like. I'll give you my scripts. I'll give you everything.
They don't want to do it.
But
it's execution.
Exactly. I like to live in the execution phase. And in all reality, I guess to leave your viewers and listeners to something, whether it's Stanford or whoever, this is a really important thing that if you are going to start your own business or you're an entrepreneur and you're trying to develop yourself within a company, either or, but one, you have to get your brand message defined. What value do you actually bring to people? And that brings you to number 2, which is get your offer dialed in. What do you do for people and why? What's the transformation you can provide to them? Number 3 is get your website, your funnel built out with your offer.
Yeah.
And then you just have to get your traffic coming in. That's it.
Jeff, is there anything you want to share that I have not asked you today?
Oh my gosh.
Besides things.
I know that we've gone all over the place, but yeah, here's one piece of advice I would tell people if I look back and say, man, I wish I would have told my younger self that.
Yeah.
Is to focus your time and energy on Brian Tracy. There we go. Brian Tracy has a great book. It's called Eat That Frog.
Eat That Frog.
Read that book. It's about how by human nature, we don't do the hard things.
Yeah.
It's very easy for us to kick the rocks when we should be pushing the boulder. Eating that frog is just waking up and tackling that most challenging task that is going to change how things go, but you're avoiding it because you know it's going to be hard.
Yeah. Yeah. I took a class at PayPal actually when I was an employee there. And I think they talk about that too. You know, like frogs are not the most beautiful thing. You always tackle the hard stuff first. And the other stuff is just easy. They just kind of get resolved more easily. But if you just work on the big problem or even the challenge, then things just get easier. Have you seen that movie, The Martian, when he went to Mars?
Yes.
Doesn't tackle the frog or eat the frog, he won't have food to eat.
Yeah, that was a really good movie. Oh man, yeah. Eat That Frog is such a key concept. And I think it is very easy for us to avoid doing hard things, right?
Yeah. So eat that frog, everyone.
Eat that frog, everybody. Eat that frog. And when you read the book, you'll understand it.
Is it on Amazon?
Yeah, it's on Amazon.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah. And obviously my book just came out and I know you picked it up. So thank you. The Zero to Hero Crypto Guide.
What's that name again?
Zero to Hero Crypto Guide.
Okay,
yep.
Awesome.
Joel Dietz actually messaged me while we were talking here, who I have to give Michelle full credit for telling me to just get up and take a stand and declare my presence in the room. And thank you for motivating me, Michelle.
You're welcome. Yeah, that was a lot of fun. We were at a gala at Harvard Club in New York, and we met the founder of MetaMask. So exciting things to come. And he wrote Jeff's
the forward for the book.
Forward for the book, which is awesome. I got a copy of the book. I'm really excited about it.
Yeah.
Haven't read it yet, but I am excited about it. Just really couldn't wait.
Yeah. And for everyone listening in, my co-author, Koshi, what do you call that? Anonymous name? What do you call that?
Pseudonym? Pen name?
Pseudonym. Pen name. Yeah. Is actually a very brilliant marketer who's worked for some of the top names in the industry.
Oh, awesome.
And And when we worked on this book together, one of my missions, my purpose was to break it down into very simple, basic English that an 8th grader could read. And my son, who's actually only 10 years old,
Yeah.
gets it. He's already read half the book.
What is
And
the book about, Jeff?
oh man, it breaks down everything from cryptocurrency to smart contracts to what decentralized finance is to what different hard wallets and soft wallets and all these different things that are hot wallets and everything else. There's even a section called How I First Got Scammed, which has stories of me and a couple of my friends. I wish if I would have read it, because I know that if I would have just read it, I would already know that I was about to be scammed or someone was trying to scam me.
Yeah, so funny is that after working at PayPal, I just feel so grateful for HR, right?
Mm.
Because they get to meet people. And sometimes when you work at these big companies or Fortune 500, you get really spoiled because
Oh,
other delegated people
yeah,
do
yeah.
other parts of the work for you. And everyone that you meet at the workplace hopefully is mostly awesome, even if some people have different personality, but they're decent at least. In the crypto world, you don't have people that filter people for you. And that's one of the, and the thing is that there's a lot of scammers, and you kind of learn the hard way about scammers and about people who are using you or just trying to make feel quick bucks. And
Mm,
yeah, it's kind of cool that you talk about that because
yeah.
those stories are kind of important.
Oh, yeah. My own personal story was a game that I invested in called Illuvium. And I got this message from their Discord server. It was like right before Christmas Eve. And they're like, special mint, limited time mint, zero point 0.1 Ethereum, which at the time was 500 bucks. Ethereum was like 4 grand in December.
Yeah.
It was like limited edition sigil 3D NFT collector's edition. I'm like, oh my God, this is awesome. And I clicked on it and I was like, oh, it was beautiful. The website, and it had
Yeah.
like the little golden NFT circling around. I was like, oh, this is beautiful. And I clicked the mint button. And when I clicked the mint button,
It didn't do anything or it just took your money.
it was just like transaction fee. But I looked at the gas fee and the gas fee was only like $4. And I was like, wow, they really optimized this gas fee. And I clicked on it and then I explored the contract a little bit more and I realized it was just a transfer. It was not a smart contract. It was literally a transfer, which thank God.
Wow.
I mean, they could have done a lot worse if it was a real smart contract that
Yeah.
stole my stuff. It was just a transfer. And I was like, whoa. But what was crazy part was the only reason that I figured it out afterwards was because I was like, huh, I'm looking on OpenSea. I'm looking for my NFT. It didn't show up.
Didn't show up.
And I went back to the website and then someone's like, dude, I just got scammed on the Illuvium Discord server. I'm like, wait, you just got scammed?
You just got scammed too.
And then I clicked on the wallet and I saw all these. That was the other thing too. I saw like hundreds of people sent zero point 0.1 Ethereum. I'm like,
No,
this has to be legit.
you don't understand. I bought a NFT that was on the trending list of OpenSea, thinking that it was legit. So I got two. And the next day it was removed from it. And then I was just like, OpenSea, what's going on with my NFT? They didn't tell me. Of course, I said, hey, if you take something out, you should let us know because we purchased it.
Whoa.
And they said it was not, it was a scam. And I was just like, why do you
Oh.
promote it if it's a scam? Do your research before you
Oh.
promote a project. So many people bought it because it made
Yeah.
the trending list on OpenSea.
Here's the crazy part, Michelle. On my little scam,
Yeah.
I went back to the website and I was like, wow, it looked exactly like their website, but I found something.
What do you find?
Illuvium is spelled ILIVUM.io.
Yeah.
And what they did was they had a domain name that was exactly the same, except instead of an M, it
Yeah.
was two N's next
It
to
looks
each
the
other.
same. Yeah, they do that.
Two N's look exactly the same as an M.
Yeah. So it's I and L too.
And I was like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I was like, oh no, I felt like such a dummy. And
Yeah, no, we all go through that, and you almost have to budget scam.
pretty much.
Yeah, pretty much.
Anyone who's been in crypto long enough has been scammed. If you haven't, you haven't been in the crypto long enough.
Almost like baptism, really.
It is. That's your baptism by fire, baby.
You can wear a bunch of crypto scam scars, and then you know that you're in this market.
Yeah. What ended up happening was, just so people learn how the hell this happened, is that somebody hacked the bot that was inside Discord for them.
Oh,
So
wow.
they hacked their bot. I don't know if it was a password issue or whatever, but someone hacked their bot and they were able to use the bot to use the tag at everyone in the Discord channel. And it was like an official channel and it was an official bot. So I didn't think anything of it.
Yeah.
Even if you are seeing things from a trusted source, always check, recheck. Just have this idea that 99% of the things you're going to look at is a scam.
Yeah.
And then look at everything from a skeptical eye. And whatever you do, don't fall prey to the FOMO.
That's the same with people too. When people contact you, they may not be the real person. When people in the community, they get contacted by another person, they always go back and say, hey, is this person real or not? Verify the people too. Because I know that Jeff is here, but sometimes it's like, am I talking to Jeff or another Jeff?
Or am I an AI rendering of Jeff? Zuckerverse.
Identities. Someone got to work on these scams. That's a hard problem to solve, but someone should actually try to solve it.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's one of the problems with crypto. It's one of the benefits and also the problem is that there's no takebacks. There's no middleman. There's no middleman between transactions, which is awesome. But it's also bad when you're trying to get your money back and it's like, sorry, it's gone.
Yeah, you don't even know who took it because there's a bunch of numbers at the end. And it's kind of funny, but OpenSea gives you the transaction feedback. They don't really give you your money back. So FYI out there, hopefully our system is going to be better. I basically asked them to at least give us notice if they take something out, just so that we know.
Personally, they did offer people who got scammed.
Yeah.
Illuvium actually went crazy and they had an application form to get your money back and they were going to pay you.
Oh, wow.
Because it was their bot. I didn't do it because it was just 0.1 Ethereum. And quite frankly, I'm an investor in the game already. For 0.1 Ethereum, it wasn't worth it. But I just thought about all the other people in different countries that got scammed. That maybe 0.1 Ethereum was a lot worse to them.
Yeah.
For me, it wasn't as big of a deal. But again, just be careful. Be careful before you start clicking on things with your hot wallet.
Do a lot of research before you click on anything and be careful with your wallet.
Never give away your private key.
Yeah.
Or your seed phrase. Never, ever, 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 ever.
Not even to your significant other.
Not even to yourself. I've had people that get scammed by saving their seed phrase as a draft email or sending a message to themselves. Then somebody hacks your email and everything's compromised.
The recommendation is to get 3 pieces of paper, write them on 3 pieces of paper and put it in different places and don't share it with anyone. I've also known people in relationship getting the other people's crypto. It's just so weird. I mean, yeah, it's really sad. I'm kind of surprised that there are just so many people who are not focused on building the ecosystem and making the world a better place, but just on greed and money.
Yeah, and here's the thing too. This is a great place to close it out. Always, and when I say always, I mean 150% double check the people that you keep around you. Just remember that money makes people do weird things.
Yeah.
And money will change people, or even worse, money will corrupt people. Just be very careful because some people have really great intentions. Just like Selena, remember? She ended up getting killed by her own manager, if you don't remember the story of Selena. But you just have to be very careful about the people around you. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah. Thank you, Jeff. And our topic once again is outsourcing branding, marketing, and crypto, and then crypto games as well. I think we covered almost everything. Yeah, we did.
Wow. That was a lot.
Thank you, Jeff.
Well, thank you so much for having me.
Okay, bye-bye.